hang on. Transition. Hello. There we go. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? I tell you what, let's do that quickly so I don't get confused. Thank you very much. Good evening. How are we doing? Welcome. Delkim Live on a Tuesday. A very exciting Tuesday, I would imagine, for most of you. We can all get back fishing tomorrow, or can under certain specific guidelines. So that is awesome news. And I'm sure all of you are itching to get out as soon as you can, having been locked away for so many weeks. It's been about 8 weeks. It seems to have flown by for some. I'm sure it's been a turgid time for others. Depends what you've been doing and where you've been doing. But I hope you're well, and I do appreciate you joining me. We're here. Might be that things slow down a little bit in terms of these lives going forward, but we'll see. I don't know if there's going to be an audience for it. If the lockdown is less strict, maybe every night is not necessarily the way forward, but I'll give it a go till the end of the week, and then maybe next week we might do twice a week, but we will see. If you want to have it and you're enjoying it, then I'll keep going for as long as there is an audience for what we're doing and everything else. So if you are just joining us, hello, Delkim Live on a Tuesday. So what do we think? Are we happy? Is everybody, I must imagine everybody's reasonably happy they can go fishing. Do they feel that it's safe to go? Are people still a bit worried whether things can be kept under control? I know we all want to do these things, but we have to be realistic, and the common sense approach that we've been told we need to follow to make sure that we can still do these things, and hopefully the idiots won't spoil it for the many, and we'll be able to do exactly what we want to do. Let's just see who's on board tonight. Load of regular Sonic Mason, hello on YouTube. Ian Carroll, hello. Wayne Horn, Michael Jocelyn, Wayne Tester, Gary Evans, they're all regulars. Headley Penfold, hello. Oh, some new people. Andy Greytax, hello on YouTube. Ian Northwood, hello. Will Martin, hello. So there's some plenty of people. Bill Whiteside, hello Bill, how are we doing? One of our northern anglers. So Mandy Mason, hello Mandy. So lots of regulars on here tonight. So what we're going to do today, I thought, was maybe just have a quick refresher. So you're all going to be rushing out, if not tomorrow, within the next few days to hit the bank with either your old or your new toys, depending on how you've spent your money during the lockdown. And I thought we would go over a few things just to make sure you are ready to use your products as best as possible, or certainly your alarms, to make sure that you're ready to use them when you go out fishing tomorrow. If you have any questions, please pop them up on the feed. You know this, I will answer people's questions. If you've got a specific function or feature or issue, or you need something revisiting, then we will look at that for you as best we can within the half an hour or so that we have. Just want to say big thank you to my dad yesterday for coming on and doing his live interview. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you haven't seen it, please, it's on our YouTube, it's on the Facebook. Please revisit that. A good hour and a bit of my dad recanting a lot of historical, the way we, Belkin grew, what his way was into fishing, and his life and loves and all that kind of stuff. So that was great of him to do that, and I really enjoyed it. Hopefully it was good for you too. So again, housekeeping, and some people recant this back to me now, so I'm glad it's going in. Housekeeping, you know what's coming. All the hangers fit all the alarms. Already I had today, one of our shops actually ring because a customer had sent them back and said they don't work with my new txi-ds. Every single hanger has the same size socket, which is this one. Let me grab it for you. This is a nightlight indication set. Okay, the same size plug and the same size socket, and they all work and they all fit, whether you've got a Nightlight Pro, ES indication set, slim light indication set, opal or clear, or a nightlight indication set, which this is I have in my hand, which is our latest incarnation. They all work with the old alarms and the new, so you don't have to worry, you can use them. And, oh, gone out of focus. Hello, come back to me. I'll come closer and then it picks me up. Hello. And of course, accessories. There you go, back in focus. Accessories. V2 versions for the new digital products. So EVD, that's a txi-d EVD. Where's my EVD? I haven't got that to hand. EVD, txi-d, V2 versions of the d-loks and the safeties. So we will be doing that. And warranty registration, don't need a picture, need your receipt. Not on proof of purchase is not a picture of your product, it is a receipt showing how much you paid for it, where you bought it from, and the barcode is a 7-digit barcode, either on the box, bottom of the box, or in the battery compartment. Starts with a 1. Okay, so that's what we need. And also, just adding to that, download the app, guys. If you haven't downloaded the app, please download the app. It's going to become very important. We've had a meeting today regarding what we're going to do as a company to try and start getting things going again. So we have been sending out some orders to shops who have been open and supplying. So we're supplying them as best we can. We are looking to open up our repairs, service, spares shop. We haven't got the specifics yet, but please download the app, and therefore you will get notified straight away when these services are back up and running, and so that you can, you know, return your items or get spares you need for fishing. We understand now that you're fishing, it's become more important, that, and we want to be able to get you back up and running if you've got a faulty item or you need a spare. So please download that app, App Store, Google Play. You can have the app. Okay, so let me just see what's going on. Martin Bowles asked a question. Can I use Duracell rechargeables in Delkim? It's not recommended to use rechargeable batteries in the products. Okay, yes you can, but it's not recommended because sometimes they go over the 9 volts charge, and if you start putting higher voltage through the products, then you can obviously damage them. So they do tend to, when you recharge them, they go above their specified voltage rating. Plus a Duracell, which I am desperately looking for, must have one to hand somewhere. No, I haven't got one. Is it in the back of this one? No, because that one's got not got a sliding door. And so a PP3 Duracell per copper top will last well over a season. So really a rechargeable isn't necessarily the best, because you're not having to recharge it very often. You'll sit there for ages, and also with a rechargeable it will dive like a stone when it drops off. So you could end up getting, you know, a low battery one, and suddenly that's it, you've got nothing left. Where the Duracell, the copper tops, and you know, there are other good quality ones, but we recommend the Duracells. They are the best. I know, you know, you get what you pay for, but they hang on a lot longer. So they dive voltage and then they recover, and they dive and they recover, and they dive and they recover, because they're a high impact product, because it's sitting there doing nothing, and then suddenly it will go, lights flashing, LEDs on, sorry, the same thing, speaker flashing, transmitting all that energy. So it's very good for that. So yes, with caution and rechargeable, but it's not necessary. You're better off with a proper battery. It will last you a long time. If it was a product that was power hungry and using a lot, then yeah, a Duracell would be rechargeable would be necessary. Should have given it another 3 weeks and see. I think yes, I don't disagree with that, David Tinton. I think we might be going a little bit early. Let the other countries see what happens there. But anyway, we go on. I have 2 original TXIs with the V2 night lights. What would you guys recommend as an upgrade for the night lights? Don't quite. I'll let other people answer that. But if you've got the V2 ones, that's our latest greatest ones, isn't it? So the V2, that's all you can. That's the best ones you can get. Unless you want the slim lights, but we'll come to that. So what we got? Anybody else got any questions while we're here? txi-d and the Nightlight V2. Can't wait to see them out. Yes, people have bought stuff and they want to use it. How long is the battery life on the new txi-d? Lee Kirk on Facebook. Over a year. Well, obviously it depends how much fish you catch. If it's going off constantly, but in terms of, you know, an average fishing session, average use, way over a year. Anybody on here will tell you the battery life is never an issue. It's got more battery life than the old ones, and the old ones last forever, basically. Bit of lagging tonight. Have I got a bit of... let me see if I drop the frame rate. Bear with me, and that might help. And it always does if there's a bit of lagging. Just bear with me a second, and I will deal with that for you. I will I? No. Video rate. There we go. Let's drop that to there and see if that helps. It's always a bit complicated. There we go. Bit less lagging. Sorry. Right. Wash your hands. Yes, definitely wash your hands. Wash your hands. Have you ever thought of Delkim joggers to go with the hoodies and t-shirts? Keith Mason, clothing ain't our thing. We make bite alarms. Yes, we have some clothing. Yes, it might develop into something more in the future, but yeah, we don't know. Other people make clothing and they do probably a better job than we can. We can't focus on that kind of stuff. We're not into doing a clothing brand. People buy, it's more of a promotion, but the hoodies are really good. That was our foray into some better quality, and that might spin off into something else once we get back up and running and things get back to normal. We're starting to look at better clothing, and then this all kicked in. So yes, watch this space, I would say. Hello from Brian Wingard. Hello, Brian. Greetings from the United States. Got his txi-ds, can't wait to use them. Yes, that's all good. So what we'll do is then, without further ado, let's flick to camera number 2. Here we go. I've got my nice txi-d sitting there ready to rock and roll. So I want to just give you a quick refresh, and I might be teaching you to suck eggs, but what's the most important part when you're going to go fishing? It is setting that response or the sensitivity on the other alarms. If I put that into shot, sensitivity on this one, response on this one, it's similar. You know, they all work exactly the same. They've all got the vibration sensor. I'm dipping in with my hand. Okay, so it's key to set that response or sensitivity correct for when you're fishing. So you must not get false bleeps. That's the first thing. Don't get false bleeps. So that's about setting this response control to the initial pickup that you want to the knock of the line. So you can see I'm just tapping the line there, and I'm setting the response to the line move. And as I turn that down, it takes a lot more for me to set that off. And if I turn that back to there, this is very thick line and twisted, so it's got lots of twists in it, so I can turn that right down and still get some movement. Oh, pulling me a line now. There you go. So you can see how I'm turning that down, and I've got about 10 grams of weight on this slim line as I bring that back up. There you go, it's kicking back in. Okay, so setting that response is crucial. So make sure, and if you're just bought a set of Delkims, and this is to people out in the who might have just bought Delkims for the first time, maybe off eBay, you know, recently, and want to go out and use them and have been used to wheels, always set it to start with slightly more sensitive than you need. Okay, and don't forget that it's about how much energy is in the line, not how far it moves. Because if I move this slowly, and this is still just refreshing you, if I move this slowly, you think it's not working. But as soon as I get any sharp movement, it goes off. So if I move that slowly again, so perfect for bobbing creep, you know, undertow. But as soon as I get any sharp movement fish, it sets it off. And that's really important. So I still get the benefit of fish knocking the line, but that slow creep is eliminated. So that's great in windy conditions. And if I go up to full response, and I am doing this briefly as this is a refresher course, I'm not going into as much depth as I might want to. But again, now I'm on maximum, you can see that that's going off. And again, beep speed, people. Okay, so beep speed 4 is the equivalent to a txi. Okay, so if I've got that now on maximum response, that's the same as on maximum sensitivity and plus on a txi or an old standard plus. And you can see that's lively, that's going into that warble. So, you know, you back that down to get that where you want. And the good thing with the txi-d is that as soon as I do that, okay, that's going into that warble. You can hear, hopefully. Now, if I slow the beep speed down, I'm going to put it on level 2. So it was a level 4, I'm going to put it on level 2. That's only now just going into the warble as I give it a good pull to the top. So straight away, you've got more information about what's going on. So I've got a maximum response. I can tell the difference between if I've had a little knock, or I'm getting a slow pickup, or if I'm going to get a run. There you go. So you've got that speed relationship back, or it's not going into meltdown straight away like it might do with the older ones, and that was the difference with that beat speed. So I'll put you back into beat speed 4, so that'll be just like your TXI Plus. Okay, you'll see the difference again, how that's going into warble much easier. So that was the big step forward. So if you're using your new txi-ds for the first time, set your response first, because default out the box is level 4, and then play with the beat speed to knock that warble back effectively, so it only hits the warble when it's time to strike. That's the idea behind it. And it works the other way if you want to decrease the response. Okay, and now I can increase the beat speed. If I put it up to 8, and you'll see the extreme of it. Okay, so now that's going into warble. If I put it back to 1, it's not going to warble at all, but I haven't changed that response. I didn't touch the R control. So you can see the extreme differences there. Somebody who might need a refresher, we have a mute button. So just a quick press and let go is now in mute. So this is a refresher for people who have got txi-ds that they're going to use. Press and release puts it back on, and I'll turn that response back up, and I'll put it back to where it was on there. So holding down the button changes the beat speed. I'm on level 3. The button on the other side, so PB2, that changes your LED brightness. At the moment I've got it in day mode, so that's maximum brightness. I'll put it into night mode, press and release. That's now half brightness with night marking. If you can just see, can you see the LEDs glowing on? I can turn that towards it. They won't now because I've just activated it. But then pressing again and release, it goes dit for day. The tone goes down for night. So, and you'll see, yeah, there it goes. You can probably just about see, I'm candid. You can see that just glowing on slightly behind my hand. So night has the night marking, day does not have the night marking. You can then adjust your responses, but out the box, the defaults are maximum brightness in day, medium brightness in night, beat speed level 4, and the tone set to a medium, so you can just turn it on and go fishing, set the response and go. So you don't need to worry about anything else like that. So it's important to just get that response set correctly for the conditions that you're fishing, and away you go. If you're fishing by the snags, try and crank it up. You know, by turning that beat speed down, you can really maximize your beat speed. You can really maximize your the information that you're going to get from the business end, so when the fish moves in the swim. So that's a little refresh. I saw somebody ask a question about smart clip. Hang on a second. Let me just drop back. Here we go. Skimback 01 on YouTube. Using the smart clips, do you recommend the butt eye behind or in front of the alarm? You can see here, I would always recommend that you have the butt after or a gap this side. Don't have it right up against the alarm. Because sometimes that can flatten the line against the alarm and you get some strange things happening. It just creates a strange angle. But I would definitely look to have the butt. Well, that's what the smart clip's for. If you can have the butt ring before the alarm, you don't need the smart clip. It's the reason for the smart clip is butt rings now disappear, further and further away from the reel, and you can't necessarily have your alarm that far away. So that's where this comes in. It's acting as another ring. And it's allowing that equal angle. So if you can have your butt ring this side, then have it where I've got the smart clip. Then you don't need the smart clip. But it's not possible with a lot of rods now, that they just have less and less rings than the old days. And that's what that's for. It's for evening out the weight of the bobbin and allowing that bit of extra travel. Because if I do it from there, it's pulling from the reel now. You can probably just see the line. It starts to pull tight about there. You don't really get the full travel. But as soon as I put it into the clip there, it's able to travel a lot easier, and it evens out the weight of the bobbin, so it helps the visual indication and evens out the weight that you're adding. So skin back 01, hope that helped you. Keith Mason, on the slim lights, am I right in thinking that you need the smaller metal bracket in the arm for the TXI Plus, or is it the same for the Nightlight Pro? Come back to me. Hang on, let me put you back on the... If you see here, if I can pull that off. You can't see. That's the wrong angle of dangle. Let's see if I can lift my phone up. Can you see that there's that? This is the bracket you use. Oh, this is the bracket you use on the txi-d, okay, or the EVD. It's a little wire form, the same as what would go in the old d-loks. Let's put that back down again. So I moved it, and then that arm just clips on the front. So if you've got the new digital alarms, you don't need the base that comes with your hangers. So let me see if I can just show you that. You would need the... It goes in the holes in the front of the alarm there. Yeah, you can see the two holes. So then you put the wire form in the front of that, and then you clip. There's a better one. There you go. Push in there and clips on. If you're using a d-lok, here's a TXI with a d-lok on. You replace the existing one with the new thinner one for your slim carbs if you've got that type of hanger. So you can just pull that out. You can use the arm if you want to. It works quite well. So you can do that and prise it up, and then you can replace it and then just push it in. Oh, helps if I put it on the screen. Push it in and push it on the desk. There you go. Puts it in. Okay, so hopefully that answers that one, Keith Mason. Any more? Let's have a look. If you have bought second-hand and don't have a receipt, how would the warranty work? Wayne Horn, the warranty is only available for people who have bought brand new products. So it's for the digital range only. So it's not transferable. So if you bought the product from new and you register it, then you get the 1 year extra warranty. All our products have a 2 year anyway, so if you fall between that 2 year period, you still get that. It's the additional 1 year extra that you don't get if you've picked them up second hand already. Okay. Hello from Romania. We've got some people on there from Romania, so hello. Let's just see. So what else we got? So we've done the mute, we've done the beat speed, we've done the LED brightness. If you actually want to change the LED brightness, so if I put that, let's flick back to camera thing. We did this the other week, but this is just for your refresher. So if I flick back to, that's in day. So if I hold the button down now, I'll do it with my other hand, sorry. So if I hold the button down, I can now cycle through the LED brightnesses. Okay, it's 8, it maxes out, so if I hold it down again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I want it in 6, so I've got it 6 for day, and then it will, that's adjusted that. And if I want to change the nighttime, I toggle back to nighttime, and then I can hold the button down again. So I might want it in level 1 for nighttime. So now that's level 1 for nighttime and level 6 for daytime. And it will remember your settings. So whatever you set it to, it will remember. So it's straightforward. Keep Carmen in the box. I just wanted your thoughts and opinion on Delkim's not working in the rain, bad weather. I always see comments saying Delkim's on rubbish at working in the rain. I've never had any issues. No. Nor has anybody, nor is the vast majority that uses them. Exactly. It's a bit like the internet is a wonderful place for finding stuff for things that are faulty. If I look up BT, they are the worst company in the world ever to deal with. Their internet's rubbish. They're the biggest internet provider in the country and have been for forever and a day. We have great products. We've been making them since '92, and we have won award after award after award, and we get less than 1% back of what we make. 1% of a lot is still a lot, and some of it is jealousy, some of it is people not knowing how to use the product, some of it might be that the going off in the rain is the fact that their line is being hit by the rain and it's setting the alarm off, not necessarily due to water ingress. and everybody seems to think that's the case. But our repair stats show that we get less than 1% back of what we make, and you're using them, so it's fine. If people don't like them, so be it. That I can't change that, but that's how it is. You people use them because they're good, reliable, solid alarms, and proof's in the pudding. So that's exactly how it works. So that's it. We'll get problems, and we'll deal with people individually and help them out as best we can. But in terms of what we get back, less than 1%, and a fraction of that is to do with water issues. So, but if I put everybody in a room, it'll be a lot of people in the room that have had a problem, but that's still only less than 1% of what we've ever sold in the time that we've made them. So, a bit of a victim of our own success, and people only tend to criticise on the internet, not praise. That's generally. I've had txi-d for many years, no problem with them at all. Battery connector, which is down, but that's me not txi-d connected. Batteries, yes, Ian Northwood, thank you. Rain don't go together is a complete myth. Yes, it is, Dave Tinton. Of course it is. Or else we wouldn't be here. Don't forget, everybody. And I know it's been pretty light-hearted what we've done so far, and I've appreciated everybody being on board. But we only make bite alarms, so we don't have any other. We don't have rods or reels or clothing or bed chairs or whatever else to fall back on. If we made a product that was so rubbish that let everybody down in the rain and nobody wanted it because it was unreliable, where would we be? We would be nowhere. We'd be nowhere. And so that's just, that's simple. But yeah, no worries at all. What else we got? If you got some, bang some questions up here, guys. What we got? Strange. I bought those, but my indicators are not clear. Are they like Milky? Yes, they're two different versions. Tommy, I'll come back to me. Tommy, there are two different versions. Tommy on YouTube. There are opal and clear slim lights. So they work the same, but one's clear, which you saw there, and there's an opal version. If I can just grab from my tray over here if I've got one. I hope I've got one. I should do. Oh, here we go. That's the first version. So Milky one. It was because the clear ones didn't shine up because they're quite small and slim, and that was the whole point of them. They didn't show up so well against a watery background. So the first ones we brought out were the this kind of opal colour, and then we brought clear ones out after that. Also, Dad liked these, and I like the clear ones. He owns the company. He won. So that was that was it. So we released them first, and then eventually I got my way and got the clear ones out because I thought they looked better. But horses for courses. Bobbins are very particular. There you go, Tommy. Well, there you go. So if beauty's in the eye of the beholder, or else I wouldn't be married, would I? If Delkim rain would be the third set now. Then being if Delkims were rubbish in the rain, I wouldn't be on that. Exactly, Michael Justin. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't have to sing the praises. It is what it is, and we know what we do, and you guys know what we do. And if you don't, if you're not on board, you're not on board. Can't keep everybody happy. If somebody's had a faulty one, you're going to feel bad about it. If you've had a bad experience with a company, it doesn't matter how many other people have had a great experience, you're going to feel singled out. So that's just it. Jeff Cross, my wife used to be a hairdresser a long time ago, and she's doing a great job at keeping my hair slightly trimmed up while I've still got it. So she's done a fantastic job keeping the family's hair neat and tidy over the last 8 weeks. So I got to thank her very much. She's been very patient as well with me doing these in the evenings. Straight after dinner, little one's running around outside, so my little 2-year-old. So that's it. One of my txi volumes doesn't work straight away like the other two alarms. AD, if you have a faulty one, then it looks like plans are afoot to try and reopen repairs. It's going to be a case of if you can put up with it, stick with it, because there will be a lag. We're not going to be able to open up straight away and be able to do everybody's repair at once and follow 10 working days, because it's just life ain't like that anymore. It might do again one day, but for now it's going to be, if it completely doesn't work, then of course send it back, because there's nothing you can do. But if you can put up with it, it would suggest just hanging on to it a bit longer till things start to sort of even out, or else everybody's going to send everything back at once. We're not going to be able to deal with everything at once, and it's going to be, it could be 2, 3, 4 weeks before we can get stuff back. We have no idea yet how it's all going to work. So other things to do when you're fishing. If you've got the new If you've just bought yourself a set of txi pluses and a receiver, if you've bought a second-hand set, you know, because there are lots of people getting rid and upgrading, or you've just thought you switch over, one recommendation: when you go fishing tomorrow, if you can see, always use it in the L position. Okay, always use it in L. That's local. That maximizes your battery life and minimizes any interference. Somebody's talking about crackle. Matthew Wilkinson, make sure it's in L. If you're testing it out at home, don't forget there's lots of radioactivity at home, and you may well get pops and crackles if I sat by a laptop. Electromagnetic. Don't sit your receivers by power packs. That's another thing. Always keep them about 1/2 meter away from your power packs, whether it's the new ones or the old ones. Anybody's receiver. Don't sit them on power packs. You will drain the battery, because the receiver, no matter whose receiver it is, will be responding to the RF coming from the power packs, you know, especially the bigger ones. So just keep them either side of the bivvy table, or just either side of the bivvy. That will be fine. Always use them in L. And remember, this switch at the bottom is for the sensitivity of the alarm. It has nothing to do with the receiver. These two are not linked. This is a high and low for the range of the sensitivity on your alarm. So low sensitivity, high range of sensitivity, and you fine tune it on there. And then this is to do with the distance of the receiver. So D puts it into maximum range, and so you're going to use your battery up a bit more, and you might be open to interference because it's an analog system. And don't pull that. And then L is local, 50 meters or up to 50 meters, reduces it and maximize your battery life, minimizes interference. Okay, on the new one you don't need to matter so much because it's got a huge amount of range and it's a digital system, but it also does have let me turn it on. But it also does have, hello there, it also does have the ability to change the range. So out the box, when you first turn it on, it's in, you didn't quite see that because it was very bright. There you go, it's 2 lights lit up. That's standard range. So in a straight line, bear in mind, 750 meters. I can put it into short range, which is 1 LED. That's now got a range of 50 meters in a line of sight. So it's a reduced range, and that will maximize your battery life. So if you're sat by your rods and want to get the most battery life out of your receiver, then stick it into short range and you'll get more out of it than you would if you just left it in the standard range. Though standard range still has loads of battery life, but if you really want to eke it out, it's a bit like eco button on your car, or you know, you drive it normally, you can have an eco button, or you have a boost button or a turbo button. It's the same kind of thing. If you want to drive like Miss Daisy, put it into short range. If you just drive normally, have it as it was. If you want to, you can put it into boost, and that gives you, hold it down, that gives you an extra about 20%, so nearly 1,000 meters in a straight line, if you need to go somewhere in an emergency with this new system. Okay, so better range. Holly, in case it's a necessity, is there a Delkim repair location, for example, in the Netherlands, or do I send mine? Right, if you're outside the UK and you have a repairs, then you need to contact Corda Europe. They are our distributor in Europe. Our distributor in Austria is Thallinger or Thallingerlang. So best thing, take it back to your shop first. They'll send it back to the distributor, and then the distributor sends it back to us if it's necessary. They have the ability to obviously repair or certainly replace certain products. But if it's got to come back to us, then it has to go via the shop, then the distributor, and back to us. Yes, there is a delay in that. We do it as quickly as we can, 6 to 8 weeks maximum. Sometimes it's 4 to 6. So it depends on the shop, how quickly they send it back to the distributor, and go from there. Any more before we go? If anybody wants to know anything quickly before we go. So what we got here. Have all Delkims got their own signal, or do they interfere with the other Delkims next to us? Good, Nigel Abraham, good question. And the answer is no, they do not interfere. Every single Delkim alarm, whether it's the old ones or the new ones, they all have an individual code. So when you pair your receiver, however you do it, whether you're pairing the new ones or you're repairing the old ones, when you pair them, that means that the receiver is only going to recognize the code from that alarm. Excuse me, from that alarm. So you've got 3 alarms, they all have an individual code. You pair them up, and so only those alarms come through your receiver. Even if you were on a lake with 100 people fishing with Delkims, they would not, no one else's would come through. Your receiver would wake up every time a little Delkim went off, but then it would go, well, that's not my code, and then it goes back to sleep, so it would never come through on your receiver. Okay, I have a question. I'm my Delkins. Been using them since early 2000, the latest 2000. Two of my covers for the alarms are very soft and easy to take off. One is quite stiff and more difficult to remove, the alarm. Did you ever make covers? Right, James Smith. The hard cases, have I got an old hard case? Hello, the old ones. Okay, what? I haven't got one there of the old alarm. Okay, with the old hard cases, what can happen is over time, UV affects them. It's just the nature of plastics, you know, UV discolors things and UV gets to them, and they can harden up over time. So if you've got slightly newer cases on one alarm or a couple and you've got an older one, then they can go stiff. Best thing to do, and if you're finding that they are stiff, and anybody can do this as well, certainly with the old rubber ones, not so much with the new txi-d ones because they're moulded in a plastic, but the other ones are dip moulded. Put them in hot water and it will soften them up again, and then you can put them over something of a similar size. Wouldn't necessarily put them back over the alarm all wet. Put them over something similar size, a jar or something, just to let them cool and stretch a little bit, and it should soften them up again. So make it a bit more pliable. So nice hot water, soften them up, saves you buying new. And we do sell replacement ones. They're $5 each, but yeah, I'll save you $5. Just soften them up and put them in there. Can you show us the new slim light on the old TXI, please? Interested in upgrading my indicators. Or it just plugs in the bottom. I'm going to put the wrong colour in the wrong one because it's quick. Don't do this at home, folks. There you go. So that's plugged in the bottom. I'll put it into maximum brightness. There you go. Don't ever do that, what I'm just doing now. But I haven't got another one to hand and we're running out of time. So there's a slim light in a TXI Plus. Okay, just plugs in the bottom. One more before we go. One more, as it is fishing day tomorrow. I'll give you extra 15 minutes of my time. One more. You couldn't have a short scroll up for an answer to my question, could you? You missed out. I don't know what. Whoa. Short scroll up. Luke, one of my TXIs is very weak signal to the receiver. More that 10 feet away doesn't get to the receiver. Any advice? Well, if it's faulty, Luke, then you need to get it back to us. So if it's one alarm out of all of them that doesn't pick up very well, then it would point the finger at the alarm. If the receiver either will work or it doesn't. So if two alarms working absolutely fine, then it's the third one that's the problem. All right, so get it back to us. And as I say, please download the app, please, because it will be an instant answer and you'll be able to book in returns, get your spares on the go, get the shop on the go. As soon as we're up and running, we'll ping everybody. So please go and get the Delkim app from the App Store. Do it now. As soon as I'm finished today, go and get that app from Google Play. Just put in Delkim from the App Store. Just put in Delkim and find us and get that app on your phone. You will know exactly what's going on at any time when we're updating this. So we're not far away from having a plan. So please download that app and you will know everything that's going on. I think we're about done. Let's have a look. Michael Hellstone, txi-d, if you reset the distance to low LED, will you... No, range isn't remembered. As soon as you turn the range, the receiver back off and back on again, it'll go back to default, Michael. It'll go back to default, which is standard range. Okay, so everyone, if you're going fishing tomorrow, enjoy it. Make the most of it. It's been a very difficult time, and I myself are going to go and play some golf tomorrow because I'm allowed to do that with my son. So we are going to get out and play some golf, so I shall enjoy that as well. And please be safe, take precautions. We must still, whatever we're doing, whether I'm playing golf, whether you're going fishing, whatever it is that we're allowed to do after this lockdown, if we abuse it and we don't take precautions, if people start to, sit next to each other fishing, going four balls playing golf, not sharing tackle, whatever it is we're going to do in the fish, it will get knocked down quicker than, it got opened again. So we must follow the rules. Life is going to be different and we must appreciate that. We can't force it. We must take our care. So please still remember to stay safe. Hope this has been of some benefit. I will continue with these until the end of the week. So tomorrow and Thursday, I'll have a little reassessment over the weekend to see if there's still value in what I've been doing. That's probably based on what you guys might want, maybe, and then we'll go from there. If you guys are using our products and need more help, then fair enough. But please, good night, take care, enjoy your fishing, and I'll see you again tomorrow night. Good night, people. Cheers.